Indoor cycling, Zwift, racing, parenting. We cover those and all of our hopes and dreams in between. Welcome to the Talk Dirty to Me podcast, an entertaining look into the lives of everyday people trying to achieve virtual cycling glory from our basements and garages from around the world. This podcast is rooted in Zwift and has evolved into found friendships, fitness, health, and a little sprinkle of humor. This may be one of the only podcasts where a little heavy breathing shouldn't scare you away because we're riding our bikes while we're recording it.
$1,000.
Texas. Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, everyone. Welcome back, everybody. Today we've got special guest Billy and Almaguer.
Yeah, Almaguer. Yep.
See, I still can't do it.
That's fine.
We've battled back and forth about how to pronounce his last name for the last 10 minutes. Or I have anyway, internally. So, Billy, some of you may know has his handle as the Coffee Snob.
Yeah.
Others may just know him as Billy. But Billy, you have the floor, my friend. Tell us about yourself.
Man, well, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it, and appreciate the opportunity to kind of have some time with you all and to kind of share about just recent experience with the Hope Ride. But a little bit about me. Like most people, kind of found their way to the dirt server somehow. That happened for me, man, probably October, November 2019, and it happened. I was doing a lot of outdoor riding at the time, but one of my friends who I rode with, right after we split up, ended up getting hit by a car and then subsequently lost his life. So made me start thinking, internalize. I got 4 kids. I was like, hey, maybe I should do this indoor riding thing. So jumped on the dirt server. And, you know, when you jump on there, you don't know anyone. You're just kind of watching things happen. And someone posted something about a team time trial. I was like, well, that looks like fun on TV. I mean, it's got to be fun on the game, right? So ended up getting connected with the dirt team there, Dirty Bibs, and started riding with them. I think Jeff Hines and a few others early on, like January of 2019.
Len, yeah.
And let me tell you, I was pro level. Let me tell you how I was. I mean, that was before my direct drive trainer, and like 4.5 to 4.8 watts per kilo was no problem. And I was something special. Probably about 3 months in, I actually bought a real trainer. It's like, I really suck. I'm going to have to do some of this. There's this training that everyone's talking about. I guess I'm going to have to start doing that. I was the guy getting yelled at because I was all over the place. But, I started jumping on doing the TTTs and then the Saturday races, which were fun. I was bottom, like C level, barely a C at that time. And those are fun just because you started understanding tactics and kind of how it works out in the virtual race environment. But back then it was all about getting different kits. So I really logged on to get different kits. And then when the whole Zwift power thing started, I'm like, oh, that's cool. This thing records numbers. What do all these things mean? And then, you kind of start really getting into it. So I kind of transitioned from recreational cycling for enjoyment to now, I don't know, I guess we're all professional, whatever we want to call ourselves, gaming racers or whatever, e-racers. And you just kind of start digging into the numbers and then really started doing some structured training, trainer road, and some other things that I use just to kind of strengthen up. But that's how I got involved. And then, man, I love coffee. So, and I do a little Xbox, I don't know if that's, I still game. So, I love when I get to take people out, Call of Duty, and the Coffee Snob killed them, like serving you up a shot of espresso. Enjoy.
And a headshot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that kind of just stuck with that. It's like, well, that'll be my name on here. That'll work. But part of that story is that we came to St. Augustine in, was it 2015? We came here to plant a church. And so part of that is the guy who was roasting our coffee left. He moved to back to California. And when we started roasting our coffee, we saw over 100% increase in the consumption of coffee. So what I did is like, told my wife, I was like, hey, I'm gonna have to buy a roaster. I mean, I gotta learn how to roast some coffee. So I ended up buying like this little home roaster. It does a pound at a time, and man, that's been kind of exciting. And then I just started roasting my own beans, and then I found out that I actually don't like a lot of beans that are out there. I was like, yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. I started really kind of dialing it in. So over the years, probably 6 or 7 years, just really started getting kind of picky, which I don't put that on anybody else. The Hope Ride that we did for over 3 days, I only had 1 cup of coffee, and it's because I really needed it, but it's just because I chose not to drink. And I'm not going to shame this national brand. I was like, I'm not going to drink that one. I'm good.
It rhymes with Marduk.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good without the hints of wet cardboard flavor and whatever else.
Burnt wood.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm good. I'll just wait till I get home. And so yesterday I had a glorious cup of espresso, and I was pretty happy about that. So, but anyway,
There you go.
all that to say, got heavily involved with TTT, and then Dirty Rascals spun up, and obviously with a lot of the work I do, which I do, I have 2 jobs. I work at the church, but I'm also employed at a local engineering firm. We just got acquired, so now we're national. But my job there is the chief growth officer, and I still do some technical work, but mainly my job focuses in on building culture, building people, growing them, and systems. I kind of have a lot of free reign, but it's kind of cool. I like having a big sandbox because it really helps me make things bigger. So I kind of took that skill set and applied it to Dirty Rascals with a few other folks there to really help get that community going, which I think really helped all of us. So whether you were Eat Dirt, Dirty Watts, or whoever, having that community during the pandemic was something special.
Absolutely.
And I think it was necessary.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's
and
cool.
here I am. I popped in with Sully a few times. Obviously, I know him. He's a pastor. He's on the other side of the state. Never met him in person, but we all know the same people, I think, if you've been in dirt long enough. And
Yeah.
I've been racing a little bit with Eat Dirt and the Rascals, and really enjoy. I know I was mentioning this earlier, but I think one of the things that's really greatly improved my fitness is just doing multiple races a day. My friends think I'm crazy. When I leave work, I'm like, where are you going? Well, I have to race. The team's counting on me. I'll be back online in about 2 hours. So it's like, you don't understand. We get a virtual pat on the back. That's a big deal. And we're pretty famous with the
little blue thumb,
Yeah, we get a blue thumb. And it's great to talk with other sweaty people and hear them in pain. And I remember passing along one of our race videos on YouTube or whatever to some of my friends, and they're like, "We can't listen to this." Like, what do you mean? All this panting,
Not safe for work.
Yeah, it's not. I was like, just hit the mute. Just watch it. Go to like time 35. You'll see me really kind of whatever.
Check out the watt bomb on that.
It's like,
Check out the pace line at 26 minutes.
they're like, well, you're
So beautiful.
They're like, well, your avatar has long dreads. Is that you? Yes, that's me. You don't have any options in Zwift, but yeah, that one's me.
Identify as Rastafarian while in game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm riding.
Yeah. And then, so with that, I talked, I think, to Jason, probably early on about how to help out Dirt Dad Fund. And that's kind of where we circled up with High Watt Coffee as a way to kind of support that. So I don't obviously make anything off of it. I'm not a business owner, but I've connected the idea and the roaster to the Dirt Dad Fund. So, a portion of the proceeds kind of go to support that, which again, I like it. I'm like, hey, I like good coffee. I can point up to people who can roast good coffee. So let's get that going. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Trying to get my kids on. Now my boys are of the age where they would probably piss everyone off because they have just enough strength and they're super light. Trying to get them into racing now.
Drew loves racing against boys ages 10 to 16.
Oh yeah.
His favorite demographic, though.
That's also Sully's favorite sprint competition, right?
True.
Yeah.
Seated sprint. Sorry.
I got beaten in Richmond a couple weeks ago by a 12-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
It was the
Shame.
final climb up Governor. He was just like, I was like, not keeping up with that.
Yeah, when they were on.
He's in his living room on a Huffy.
Yeah. Wheel on trainer. He's that pro like I was.
Knobby tires, just
Pounding away. Seats crooked.
whirring it away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, man. How
Wearing
many kids do you
Yeezys.
have?
I've got 4. So I was the only child. So we had 4 kids, all 16, 17 months apart. 2 oldest are girls, 2 youngest are boys. Their age ranges are from, the oldest is 17, youngest is 14. So I'm about to see.
If I'm doing math correctly, did you have 4 in diapers at the same time when they were little?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oldest was in
Wow.
pull-ups.
Yeah,
Come
that
on.
was
Still a diaper.
Well, we worked really
I know.
hard to get the first one out, and I think at that time she was. Like they trained pretty early.
Sure.
And I know there's a lot of theories out there. Like I think from the husband's standpoint, I was a great helper. At least I'm just going to qualify. I think I was a great helper. But
Yeah,
I did
obviously.
a great
but there
job.
always comes that moment, I think, in every dad's life where they see what a child can do to a diaper and then outside the diaper. And I had a few of those moments. I'm like, listen, honey, I'm going to buy all new furniture. We don't need to clean this. I'm going to take this outside. We're going to burn it. We're going to start over.
We're going to burn everything. Just burn it all
We're
down.
going to start over because
So there's no coming back from this.
I cannot allow you to clean that, and I certainly don't want to. So we're going to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at that time,
That's
when the kids were younger, I always remember this. We just moved to Charlotte, and we had a triple wide stroller, like running stroller, which I thought was a great idea. I was like, take the kids running. Yeah. Which is stupid because Charlotte has hills, Florida does not. And I remember trying to push these 3 kids up a hill, and they got their little bowls with like goldfish and food, and they're just shoving it in their mouth.
Yeah.
I remember my oldest looked at me. She's like, Dad, are you going to make it? I'm like, what are you saying? I'm not dying here. That's not going to make it. Don't ask me that.
Whose team are you on?
Encouragement. How about a little bit of encouragement, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Motivate
Yeah.
guys. Come on.
motivate me, please.
My son used to do that in the stroller, or in the like the pull behind trailer on the bike.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it, Daddy. You can do it.
You can do it.
My daughter ever did.
Yeah, I
We had,
can
like,
do it. Thank you.
The seat attachment,
Yeah.
right? That was attached to the bike off the back.
Oh, yeah.
She'd be riding behind me. She'd be like lifting my shirt. I was like, that's appreciated. A little air conditioning in there.
She's like, trying to cool you off,
Yeah.
Daddy.
Just
You
right
guys
there.
have nice kids. My daughter on the tow behind, it's like a second bike basically that attaches. We're going, and she's like, faster, go faster. she likes to go fast, but she's like, it's too slow, speed up. I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
Why don't you do some work?
I did. It took me a while, but I ended up finding a trick to help keep me focused. Like if they got too rowdy and started, shaming me in some ways, I would take the little rain cover and just cover it, the poncho. Then you couldn't hear them. It was like they were kind of
Turns it into a sauna at that point. Yeah.
encapsulated. Like, hold on, guys, I think it may rain. Let me rip this guy down.
Right. Oh, I think I felt the drop. It's sunny,
Drink your
Dad.
water so you don't dehydrate. So, the good stuff.
The other thing about a triple wide stroller is you can't go through any door.
Oh
Right?
gosh, no.
Yeah. Zero
Yeah.
doors.
They, I think we took it to Disney once, and it was a blessing and a curse. I mean, it sucked moving that thing around, but let me tell you, when you got that thing in the park, everyone got out of your way. They had to. I mean, sorry, I just hit your sin.
Like an
The
ice
semi truck.
Yeah.
It's basically the snowplow
Pretty
of
much.
people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Here I come.
it was
I'm going to go this speed. Do what you want to do.
You see this visual of of the children in it, just like going
Yeah.
ape, and just like throwing goldfish and
goldfish.
gummies.
They're having their diapers like fully
Yeah.
loaded, and it's like we're going to the restroom. You need to move.
Right. Yeah, there's a restroom behind you. I will go through you if I have
I will
to.
make it happen. Yeah, so that was certainly.
Imagine that headline. Man injured at theme park.
Oh, seriously.
Triple stroller accident.
Triple wide stroller. Runs over ankle.
Yeah, that's the only way to push through the crowds, though.
That's
Deal
funny.
with those people.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, now they're all obviously you got 4 teenagers.
Yeah,
that's a
now
whole
the
other
boys are.
whole other world.
One of my boys came, my youngest one, or they're both got like the the weird mustache going, like it kind of it's a little shadow. I'm like, hey,
I don't know anything about that. No.
we're gonna have to really do something about that.
It's a little too close to home for Drew.
And, I was like,
We did the Movember challenge and eat dirt.
I was like,
There was always a competition between me and Jose. At least Jose's is dark. Mine is not dark, not thick.
I can't grow anything. That's the problem. I can't do a beard, mustache, nothing. And if I do have a mustache, it looks really creepy. It's like a sprinkle mustache. It's like a bad yard almost. It does.
Greg and I are over here just massaging our faces, just like, yes,
we don't
my
have
precious.
That problem.
I wish I had my beard brush. I could
Yeah. Tell me more.
comforting my sweet beard.
I think I've talked about when I found out that those were actually things. Yeah, my
Beard
beard
brush?
brush.
Beard brush.
Oh my gosh.
You have to brush your beard in a separate brush.
It's hair. It's hair, Drew.
I'm going
You've
to
got
ask
to
this
respect
question.
it.
I'm going to ask this question knowing the answer already. Greg, do you use beard oil?
Yeah. Come on.
See, I knew that already. I had to ask.
Once it gets to a certain length, and especially in the wintertime, beard oil makes everything easier.
Well, I want to add too, for a Christmas holiday tip, gift giving tip, if you want to shame your friends who can't grow a beard, and you can, then simply give them beard oil.
Beard oil?
Yeah. What is this?
Yeah.
What?
Tell them it'll help
Is
to
this
grow.
an essential oil? No. You have to have the hair already.
This is the rare non-essential oil.
I put this on my face. Will I grow a beard?
Nope.
No, but you will be well lubricated, which, as we know, is also important. So,
Also important.
It cuts down.
That's so
That's
funny.
awesome.
One of my good friends, he had a big beard for a while, and he was the one. He was like, "Yeah, I got to brush it out. It gets knots. It gets tangled." I'm like, "Dude, that's too much." But he said, "But it keeps me warm in the winter." And then he's
That's also true.
pool coordinator, like a lifeguard coordinator for the summer. And I was like, "Don't you get hot on the pool deck?" He goes, "It's weird. It's like a ventilation system." He was like, "My face doesn't get hot
regulator.
underneath it."
Oh, yeah.
That's so
gets more
weird.
surface area for the sweat to evaporate off of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah.
Oh,
Skin
yeah.
never had that problem. Yeah, just no.
No.
Don't worry about that. Yeah. So they're kind of in that age of life where they got little whiskers. They look like a catfish, like one long one here. I'm like,
Do they have a razor yet? Have you bought them a razor?
That's next. It's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me just pull that puppy out. You don't need that.
Yeah.
It's time for a Bic, son.
Yeah. Well, how did you buy the cheap one so you can cut yourself and know how to use it properly?
Right. How we all came up.
I remember learning in my grandpa. He in the Army. I don't know why he did this, but he dry shaved, and then he aftershave was alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
Oh,
holy
Lord.
crap! No, thank you.
Talk about a badass, huh?
We had no hair, so on his head, so he claims that's what made him go bald. I was like, I believe it.
burnt all the hair follicle.
That's too much.
The turpentine you place on your face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too much burning.
Holy moly. Hey.
They've gone back to a lot of straight razors, like single blade. I have this one that's just a straight. What do they call it? It's like a cartridge razor or something.
Yep.
Sure.
It's like it's very difficult to get up under here, which is at the edge of the beard. For those who are listening, lots of cuts, lots of tiny nicks.
Ugh.
But it makes me stronger, I think.
Top of the mustache is also annoying. If you
I
ever shave
use-
all the way.
I use scissors there.
Yeah.
Just gotta trim it so it's like
My wife
Oh,
bought me
I'm
the
talking about if
electric
you've ever
shaver.
do a full face shave with a safety razor.
no, thank you.
There's a section where
We've talked about this. I would be a divorced man.
The angle of approach never works under your nose.
Oh, nice.
For me, the electric shaver was the godsend because it's just me.
Yeah.
I'm good. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Roll on. I don't
Do you have one
enough
that's waterproof that you could use in the shower yet?
Sure do.
Yeah.
But they say
that's
if you
the
use
ticket
it in
here.
the shower, you have to use it with shave gel, which is weird. I thought that was counterintuitive, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently went to
getting old.
a barbershop locally. Like, when you get to a certain age of like manhood, like you want to go to a barbershop, And so I went to one, and it was like old school. They had the razor. I never had that done before. Okay. So you can pull a razor out behind me. I can't see you. And you're going to put that on me and cut hair. Here, walk me through how this is going to work.
Scrape.
Yeah.
Scrape,
And I'm good with it now, but the first time I was like, all right, stay still.
Oh,
What's this guy
boy.
doing?
Do I know you well enough?
And then you go back the first time after you watch Sweeney Todd, and you're like, no, thank you.
No.
Yeah.
No, my wife cuts my hair now
Yeah.
as a result of the pandemic. She was cutting my hair a few months ago. She was like, hair in your ear? I'm like,
Oh, it's the
honey.
worst. It's the worst.
Getting old.
It's like,
You're
yes,
in it now.
I'm naming them as they grow.
Well, and I'm like, we all wear headphones on a regular basis. And it's like, you're like, what is in my headphone? Oh, no, that's an ear hair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do, I drum, so I've got like in-ear monitors that they've been fitted to me. And so recently I had to send those off and get them reconditioned and cleaned. And I was like, I didn't realize how gross your ears are. I mean, it's just my ears, which I clean. Yeah, I'm
so nasty.
I think I'm a clean person, but yeah, I'm sorry for those who are listening, but yeah, it's not nice.
No.
I did a little deep dive on your Instagram, a la Joy Murphy style. I don't know your social yet, but I'm working on it. I did notice you had a kit on a couple of pictures, and I was like, oh, Murphy drums. So you do.
And I think the song that got me into drumming was Wild Thing by Tone Loc. I was like, I want to play that song. And that was my gateway. But yeah, I do.
Not many people use Tone Loc as their gateway, but that's a very deep cut.
It's really to the heart.
Yeah.
I still remember the day when I picked up the sticks. I was like, no longer will I play whatever other instrument they're trying. I'm going to play the drums. But yeah, I drum
Nice.
and I play electric. I've got a good collection of. I say a good collection. That's a relative term. I got 3 solid guitars that I really, really like. I think if you're a tone hunter, the quest never ends. But for me, it is.
I feel like you and I could have a conversation off camera for probably about 5 hours.
Sidecast.
Yeah.
I also
Guitar
have a
talk
bit of a
with
collection,
Don and
Billy.
My favorite ones right now. I got a 99 3-fender gold Gretsch, like solid body that I've got. Found that one in Nashville, and I'm playing that through 50th anniversary, the box TV style AC-15.
Yeah.
I've retubed it with some darker tube. I mean, box has like such piercing, which for some don't like that.
Yes,
but I
highs.
like it, so I wanted it dark, so I darkened it. I've been pretty happy with it. I've got my pedal board is set up for stereo, so I can go 2 amps out, and
All right. A follow-up question then, and then we'll move on because I know, as I said, we could talk about this all day. But what's your time pedal of choice?
I've got
Tells
2,
me
because you can't ever choose.
okay.
I had a custom one built analog. It's reverb and time that.
He's legit, guys.
Boutique.
He's legit.
When I was in Charlotte, I was around a bunch of boutique kind of studio guys, so you couldn't just go buy something off the shelf. You had to have it made. And I always said, pedals are like Barbies for guys. Which I guess now, I'm not going to go down that road. But yeah, they're like Barbies for guys.
Barbies for guitar players.
You have a pedal dream house and
so I've got Strymon, obviously for kind of everything, and then I've got my digital one, which I've got set at quarter, slight decay, just for kind of everyday, whatever. It's just ambiance. But I've got that one at midnight, custom. So I forgot some.
So you have the timeline is what you have? And you have a big sky as well?
Sky. I acquired that off somebody that was having a fire sale. So I was like, cool, I'll take it.
It's a golf clap for you. Very nice.
Yeah, but that's a whole other thing. We can get into like pedalboard structure and layout in another.
Yeah. We'll schedule a little meetup for just you and me. They can come if they want to, but they probably won't.
Doc created his own.
Yeah. Invite him to listen, Linda.
Yeah.
This was as people know, if you give me an opportunity to make a channel, I'm going to make a channel server. And we made a music channel, talking about music. And then I was farting around on my studio computer, and I was like, I could probably use OBS and make like a streaming thing to Discord to like play along with stuff. And I was like, would anybody be interested in like hanging out, watching me jam on guitar or whatever? And a couple people were like, yeah, sure. And so I did. And then there's been, in the afternoon for like an hour or something, like Keith Miller's so regular in there. Jose, a couple other guys peek in. Yeah, so it's been fun. It's been nice to kind of broaden my horizons, I guess. Try some new stuff I wouldn't normally do.
I started with drums, and that's when, of course, I'm in high school. I was just getting into high school, and I realized you really can't play a love song, a ballad, on drums. It doesn't translate the same. So then I had to start down. Well, I'm going to have to learn guitar, I guess. I mean, because I can't write a love song if I...
Can't impress chicks at a party with an acoustic drum line.
Just watch the double kick. Just watch it. Ready? You ready?
Right. Get ready for this. This is going to be impressive. There it was. Did you see it?
Could you feel you feel it on the inside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very different approach to what I took. I was like, I didn't start on drums. I started on guitar, but I was like, I need to play all this Metallica now. Yeah.
I had someone recently come to me, and this is when I felt like an OG, Yoda of guitars. Had a guy come to me and say, hey, I'm thinking about, I could play acoustic, but I want to get an electric. And, I started just breathing, taking a deep breath in, and the next question was, which guitar should I get? And I was like, all right, we're going to...
Oh, boy.
We're going to have a 2-hour conversation. I was like, all roads are going to...
Well, and, then the ultimate answer for this, for anybody who thinks they want to learn how to play guitar, is buy the guitar that you will play.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy the guitar you will play, right?
And
because if it's uncomfortable to play, you're never going to play.
For them, it was like they're trying to cover a bunch of things. So I said, listen, I know you're not going to listen to this. I said, all roads lead to the telly. Well, I'm not getting a telly.
Oh, you're a man after my own heart, Billy. It took me, I'd say 20 years to figure that out. I finally owned a Telecaster. It was like, you can do everything with this.
But it's funny. But it was a couple years later, he ended up getting a telly, which I mean, his guitars are all nice, and he plays really well. But he's like, I think it's going to give me. I was like, it does. It covers everything.
But then once you get a telly, you're like, well, I got to have a Strat too.
I got to have.
And then you're like, got to have a Les Paul. And have an Arsenal. Yeah.
I'm seeing the connection between guitars and
bicycles. Took a little detour here. We'll be back on the road in a
minute. and plus one in guitar realm, like N plus 5.
Which bike should I buy? Wow.
How much time do you have? You can't have like a guitar hobby and a bike hobby. That's very, very dangerous. Because I'm not independently wealthy. So like for me, I'm like, well, I have to sell something to get something. Make that happen.
I'm still working on that independent wealth so I can not do that. But
I think Dad will say into the chat, I think I'm going to buy this. Everybody be like, didn't you just buy this?
Are we talking music or bikes now?
Anything. Dad goes by the Phoenix?
Between us. Ooh. I have one coming today.
Nice.
It's a little off center, but
music is at least differently expensive than bikes.
Yeah,
and I'd say there's a lot more you can get out of like less than $100.
Correct.
You can get a new pedal or whatever.
There's a pretty wide range of value to be had.
You can get a plug-in. Plugins are amazing. I don't know if you use any neural DSP stuff.
On our live
I could go all day. I'm sorry.
I'm a straight analog guy. I want to be able to feel the strings and what it does to the amp. But it doesn't really matter for everybody else.
So in the guitar world, we call them cork sniffers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're familiar with that term, Billy? It's the guys that are pure analog all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
have
if I
nothing
can
against
touch
that.
a knob with just a little tap, I mean, that's all I need. It's hard to acquire that, you know, in a digital setting. Now, I have an appreciation for both, but at the end of the day, why wouldn't I want to hook up an AC-15 in my home and piss everyone off?
I attribute that to my hearing health, just because in my youth I used to play like weekend shows and stuff, and my hearing has suffered from it. So, but it doesn't mean I listen to music any quieter. It's just I just don't care anymore, I guess. What's that?
That's how it works.
To stand on music, what's on your playlist, Billy?
You know, this is gonna be a curveball for you guys. You ready? So this will be a tip of the hat to my daughter. So my daughters have been into anything from K-pop, you know, you name it, to this epic kind of music. They're both artists, so they draw and they paint. And so I found that listening to K-pop when I'm racing gives me an additional 10 watts minimum. So that's a secret I don't share with a lot of people because I don't feel like a grown man should be doing that. But
listen,
you share it with at least 13 just now.
That's the secret.
Correct.
Not including those in the room.
Joy knows now.
I think in the last DRL
She'll tell Florida.
the last DRL race where it was just whatever that climb was, I don't even remember out of. But it was like 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, K-pop, let's just put it on. Let's just go. That's how we do it.
That's awesome.
But I like that. I like a lot of, obviously, guitar. So Stevie Ray. I mean, and I listen to a lot of ambient, you know, kind of instrumentalists and things like that, just to kind of hear what they're doing.
Yep.
Do you like intervals? Have you ever heard of intervals?
Yeah.
Give them a listen. It's all like guitar centric instrumental stuff. Real like pop, not poppy, but like heavy-ish tones, but you know, like major key stuff. So not like DJ Khaled major key. Just for those who don't know.
Yeah, certainly.
What was the guy's name? T-Pain.
Yeah.
T-Pain, yeah.
Yeah.
So along those lines, since we've talked about your music interests, let's say you had one choice in cup of coffee. What would it be? And what style?
Yeah,
like a latte.
I really enjoy this shots of espresso, to be honest with you. I have a bottomless portafilter, so actually I took a photo of it last night so I could send it to somebody, but I love Guatemalans. If I'm going to have an espresso, I'm going to go something that's approachable, that's pretty mild on the palate, that's enjoyable. So I'll pull like the Guatemalan something there. If I'm going to go like pour over, I'm going to go something a little bit more exotic, which for me, if I'm going to do a pour over, I'm going to jump into Ethiopian, something a little bit more exotic, which a little bit more of those floral notes, a little more brightness to it. But outside of that, I mean, those are my primary methods. I mean, I've got my daughter now, only coffee drinker in the house. She's pulling her own shots, which, by the way, if you are a home barista and your latte art looks like a seagull attacked it, you're in good company. Because that's what mine's. I don't have that creative. Like, I make good foam, I make good milk. But man, I can't. I'm like, I don't give a crap. Just whatever. Here's your latte.
I don't even try.
I'll do the leftover foam like dot heart for my wife. I'm like, here you go, honey, for you.
Yeah, I can't do that. But yeah, I would say for me, it's usually a shot of espresso. I enjoy that, or I'll do the Neuro Bomb, oil, MCT oil. Drop that in there, whip it up. Tastes kind of good. But that's kind of my go-to.
Huh.
And I only do one a day. Usually I just do like one, sometimes two, but I just enjoy it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm back on the 2 coffee kick. I've been on it for about a week.
When you had 4
No, it was
diapers,
actually
were you
when
still
we
only
hit our
on one a
3rd
day, or-
diapers when I started drinking a lot of coffee. I know the day. I know the day very well. I'm like,
That'll do it, dude.
I think I'm going to try this coffee stuff. So it's like, well, my grandparents got Folgers, so we start there. So it's only gotten better over time.
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah, it's
the
not.
best part of waking up is not
No.
Folgers in your cup.
That's Folgers in your cup.
I had a buddy in law school whose wife was pregnant, like due right after we were going to graduate, and he, like, it was his mission to stop drinking coffee before the baby was born. And it was like not that long before finals, where he was like, "You don't understand. If the baby's born and I'm still drinking coffee, I think I will die from drinking so much coffee. I already drink so much.
Right.
I'm only going to be more tired."
Oh man, yeah.
There's nothing
I was
more
like,
coffee can
okay.
do.
But did he die, though?
He did no. He did
Yeah,
not die.
That's true.
So, anecdotal evidence.
He very successfully graduated, had a kid, and makes much more money than I do.
That's not how we judge your accomplishments, Greg.
I don't judge myself that way, but he makes a lot more money than I do.
The world, Mike.
It's a quantifiable metric. I understand.
You judge yourself by the number of coffee cups you drink in a day, though.
Yeah.
I'm a solid 2 for the last week. I was doing two a day for, I don't know, years, and then I cut back.
When's the second afternoon, I presume?
Yeah, like 2:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there. There's no shame.
I'll put 2 cups into my travel mug.
Nice.
Bring that with me to work.
guys,
and drink that at work. The afternoon.
You
I
guys
use
ever
it
do
for third.
Cuban coffee? Yeah, that's kind of a workout
No.
in a
Yes.
cup. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
even have
I
to
have.
move, and your heart rate's up. You're good.
What is, for those who don't know,
It's,
i.e. me,
basically
what's a Cuban coffee?
Espresso and sugar whipped in there really hard. So it's just it's magical.
Yeah.
It's yeah. If your zone 2 is around the high end of your zone 2 is like, let's say 140, you'll be slightly above that. Should be. And you can just sit there, so you can really do endurance
Yeah.
workout while sitting and drinking your coffee.
We have there's a Cuban restaurant close to where I work, and
Yeah.
like they're the only ones that are always open. A lot of the coffee shops shut down at
Yeah.
like 2, which is a slap
What in
in
the
the face. Anyway,
Yeah.
if I do need an afternoon coffee,
Wow.
I go there. And I remember the first time I got one,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
lit for hours, and then ever since then, when I go
That
back,
wasn't the DKA setting in?
correct. That was part of it. And so then now every time I've been back, I'm like, because you can get it without sugar. I was like, yeah, no sugar. And they're like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm quite sure. Thank you.
Yeah, no. You have
You
a
flash your pump and you move on. You're like,
It's
no.
like this nice old Cuban lady who's like, but really? I'm like, yes, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you have a
Caffeine
shower,
and milk.
cup of Cuban coffee, I mean, your body starts hearing natural rhythms, and then you just start you're like, I think I want to dance. I think I'm going to have to dance for a minute. I'm going to go to the bath, wherever. I'm just going to get out of my system. It's not like me to do
Gotta
this.
get
but
up
I'm
and
just gonna
move.
have to go do this. Sorry.
You have to get up and move to a toilet. Yeah. Something will move.
Yeah.
Will be me and something else.
Yeah, man.
Billy, tell us
So
about
I just
the
recently
Hope
got
Run,
back.
Billy.
Yeah.
3 days. And if you're from Florida, it was on the East Coast from Jacksonville down to just north of West Palm Beach, so Palm Beach Gardens, so a little over 300 miles. And it was a phenomenal ride. It's the 3rd year I've done it. And we do it every year, same time. Great support. I mean, probably one of the most well-supported rides we had. You know, an A, B, C team, each with their own SAG. I had a flat. I didn't even have to change it. I'm like, this is amazing.
Nice.
I would sign up. Can you follow me on the weekends? But it was cool because I think we had 40 riders sign up. I think just under 30 were able to go. Others got sick or had something pop up. But the cause was pretty amazing for people, especially listeners who don't know anything about human trafficking. Out of every 1,000 people, 5 are being trafficked. And well, it may seem like a a foreign concept to most of us. Like, what does it mean to be trafficked? The scenarios are plenty, but a typical scenario could be a high school age girl, goes to a party. They somehow get a photo of her that, they say, hey, we're going to send this to your parents if you don't do A, B, and C. So it's all about control. And so control is cheaper than drugs, as they say. So instead of drugging victims, they control them. And then these teenagers, these men, women, and children get caught up in trafficking, and they'll be trafficked from obviously work, and then obviously, sex trafficking as well. And listening to Nick Kane, he's heading up A21. So if you want to find out more about that, go to a21.org, and you'll find out more about human trafficking and their efforts. But we were writing to support that organization. And some of the stories he shared were just heartbreaking. I'll share high level just because I'm not sure of the viewers who may be listening, but there was one he was sharing that a mother was basically pimping out her 18-month-old. And I'm like, man, what kind of world do we live in where, an 18-month-old, like that's happening? And so you got that happening. Right. He shared a story over in Eastern Europe where one of the tactics that the traffickers use is that they'll gather a bunch of these victims and they'll take them up atop of the roof and they'll throw one off and be like, hey, the rest of you need to listen or you're going to have the same fate. And so they get put into these situations. And so part of this organization and part of the efforts that we were writing for, we're raising awareness and funds to help go rescue people, because it's not just simply capturing them, but by then, they have to be I say reprogrammed, but their brain, they got to unpack all that and unwind that. And that's significant work for people to be able to do. But, as we say, man, there is light out there at the end of the tunnel. And if you see somebody you think that is potentially caught up in trafficking, let your local authorities know, let them get in there, get involved. Because I've seen it here locally in Target. Single young kids coming up and engaging my kids in conversation, ask them to go somewhere. It happens everywhere. And no city in America, no city in this world is safe. And a big problem. So that's what our ride was there to support. A little bit about the ride itself, other than it was fully supported and amazing. First day was pretty cold, and let me qualify that. I'm in Florida, so if you're listening and you actually live in an environment where we have winter that lasts longer than 2 days, I'm sorry, but our winter decided to hit last Saturday, which was the start, and we had I think ambient air temperature was around 30. With the wind chill was like in the 20s. We had about a 15 to 20 mile per hour north wind, which was great because it was a tailwind. And our A group was tearing it up. It was amazing. We were ahead of schedule flying. And so we made it down to from Jacksonville to Daytona, which is around just at 90 miles, just a little under 90. And then from Daytona to Melbourne, which we passed through the Space Coast, which was a little over 90 for that day.
Oh, cool.
But the cool thing was that if you're watching the news, which you may or may not have caught this, but SpaceX launched on a Sunday. So we were maybe half hour south or so, maybe a little bit more, but we got to see the SpaceX launch.
That's
from
cool.
While in my flip-flops on the beach with my hoodie because it was winter. And then the next day, Melbourne down to Palm Beach Gardens. I think it was about 110 or 111. That one was pretty amazing. If you know anything about Florida, maybe you heard of Jupiter Island, but it's well-to-do. A lot of, obviously, people who are well off there. We all got pulled over by a cop because we were riding on the road. And we were about less than 200 yards from the Palm Beach County line, so they only had about 200 yards of jurisdiction left. So I thought, well, if I just dropped a big bomb, he may not catch it, but then you've got everyone else that's like, whatever. It'd make for a bad situation. And I didn't feel like that would represent the organization well, so I obviously didn't. But he let us go. We got had a few words, But once we hit Palm Beach County, we had about 10 miles to go from there, and it's pretty congested traffic-wise. But what was amazing is that the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, they were one of the sponsors. They had 30, 35 motorcycle cops, all on Harleys, which, I mean, for me, I'm not a motorcycle guy. I think I would kill myself because I'm too adventurous. But what does this lever do, you know? But it was cool to, you know, as we're going in those last 10 miles, to have the sheriffs just blowing by 60, 70 miles an hour, both on the left side as they were passing to stop traffic. And it was just like 10 miles of just rolling thunder. Pretty surreal. And then we ended at the Christ Fellowship campus, which was kind of one of the main church sponsors of this. But it was a great ride. And, you know, I think for me, you know, I've done centuries before, but never, you know, three in a row. It's like, well, this sounds fun. And it worked out really well with the, you know, with the north wind blowing at our back for 2.5 days. Yeah.
I was going to say.
But I will tell you, the highlight of the day, which I know a lot of our dirt listeners will appreciate, our A group had dropped to about there was 4 of us. And I was like, so 23, 24, 4 of us, 100 miles. I don't know if I like that idea. You know, I'm like, listen, I'm a sandbagging C. I'm not more than that. But the first leg, we just tore it up, and it was fun. I think one of the other groups, it was a C team. They were going much slower, but we ended up catching them before the first stop. So it really was felt like a good old fashioned team time trial. And
a very long team time trial.
Listen, hey, if the plan is like 23, 24 the rest of the way, I'm going to drop to B because no. We're going to do like 22, 23, which the leader of the group did a great job, and we dialed it back. And then we acquired a few more, which I was like, yes, awesome. Get some more riders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great ride.
That's awesome, man.
Now, I'm assuming just being in Florida, that was probably a pretty flat ride,
the
or what?
last day had the most climbing.
Yeah.
And out of 110 miles, are you ready for it? You ready? 800 feet. I had 3 bridges. I mean,
800 feet.
That's at least 100 feet with all 3 of those.
Those overpasses.
Did you get out of saddle for every one of those feet?
Drop to the small chain. Make sure it works.
Check and see it's still there.
Scrapes off an inch thick layer of dust from the chainring.
Come out. That's the question. No,
right.
I stayed in the big chain, but I will say that
that's awesome.
You know, if somebody's ever considering multiple days of riding that, doubling up on TTTs or ZRLs, certainly I think was beneficial for me at my fitness level, and certainly helped me kind of get through. I mean, I wasn't sore really, and I mean fatigue, yeah. You know, I don't know about you, but I don't like Garmin telling me slow down. Your fitness, you know, you've got a 1. It's like I know.
Yep.
I know I need 62 hours of recovery. Great, I get that, but I still got 100 miles to go.
Yep. Not done yet.
The recovery can come later.
I mean, I had the last day. I probably had 4 donuts, two large like chocolate chip cookies, 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and that was before we got to the end. We had like pasta with chicken, and I was starving. But I'm
getting hungry right now.
But the worst part.
The best way to do it, though.
Of the ride.
Well, you do those long rides.
True for every cyclist out on their weekend, you know, long ride, is that for me, growing up in Texas, when you smell barbecue, you just stop. You stop. You look around. It's like, where's that coming from? And then you go there. But we passed by a couple places.
Where is the barbecue?
Dude, that's oak. I mean, we're gonna have to pull over. You know. We're gonna have to pull over and get some of this because that's much better than a goo right now. I don't want goo. I want whatever that is over there, this brisket or whatever you got going on.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm paying for the gels.
Yeah, sign-ups.
So
I already
funny.
signed up for next year. I figured I would do it before I could back out. But yeah, I'm trying to get Joy to do it too. And she was saying, well, it might be too cold. I'm like, listen.
Tell Joy to put on her parka. Joy, I'm talking to you right
Yeah.
now. I know you're listening.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some of the dirt guys.
Get
here
off my
locally to
internet.
Hop over Graham, and I'll try to get Sully. But I know it's kind of a haul. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's like the Fremont.
He's just
Fremont's
looking
always
at me,
down for riding.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I bet Don would be in.
Yep.
Yep.
But it's
Don Bly.
Don Bly.
Oh yeah.
Plenty of Florida men down
yeah.
there. And
So that was
dirt.
yeah. But other than that, it was great. Like I said, I'm not done 3 days back to back to back. Like that's something that's not normal. But let me tell you, man, I usually get around 6 hours of sleep. I got a solid 8 every night. Felt amazing. Just I kept it going. So it made me think about, especially in the times, like on the long rides, there's always this point where you feel kind of isolated, tired. You got to tell your body you got to keep going. You're just kind of reminded about those who are being trafficked, who don't feel like they have hope, who don't feel like they're seen or heard. They don't even know what city they're in. But that really, there are people out there trying to help them get out and get rescued. So
That's awesome. That's a great cause, man.
yeah.
That's crazy. Like 3
And
days.
only one
Jesus,
flat.
dude.
Yeah. I was we had to bring
That
a
always helps.
box truck up
That's
with everyone's
excellent.
bike in it because they had to bring us up from West Palm Beach to the Palm Beach Gardens to Jacksonville. And I started just running the numbers. Let's see, 30 bikes. What's the median price range? And you're like, how old's the guy? How old is the guy driving this thing? What's your driving record? It's like that's a lot of money on there. Yeah, we didn't have any problems. I think really on that whole trip, we only had 2 people
That's great.
yell at us. One Canadian, which I nothing against my Canadian friends, but the ones that come down here don't like cyclists. That's you, bad though.
There's a New Yorkers. We don't mind
there you go. You don't,
cyclists.
don't discriminate.
We just like to
Just
yell at
them all.
everybody.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a guy on a bike. Yeah, screw
Yeah.
you. Hey, screw you.
Get in your lane. I am in my lane. Well, get out of the road. It's like, yeah.
I'm giving you the 3 feet. No, you're not.
man.
You're right.
Yeah, we had one little stop, and I think out in Daytona area at a gas station, one of our teams, and the police pulled in there. They're like, "What are you guys doing here?" Or we're riding our bikes. He's like, "No, this is meth town. You need to get out of here.
Yeah.
You need to keep going. I'm going to stay here until you get back on the road."
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, okay.
now we're talking my language here. Meth
Okay.
Town. Let's go.
Yeah.
Meth.
Wait
Yeah,
a minute. Did you
meth.
say meth town or math town?
I had to tell them in Missouri, if you're riding your bike and you see a 2-liter on the side of the road, don't touch it.
Yeah.
That's not a full bottle of soda.
It's nothing
Right.
drinkable.
No,
Not
Right.
apple cider.
That's funny.
it will explode.
But yeah, it was good effort. And I know,
Right.
shout out.
That's
I had
awesome, man.
Dirt Dad Fund supported me as well. So really appreciate that, Dirt Dad Fund, and their efforts to help rescue people as well. This is amazing. We had a lot of individuals and a couple teams, and it was great just to kind of see the support kind of rolling. I think altogether we raised right at $40,000
Cool.
between the cyclists, which may not seem like a lot, but
Dang,
if that
awesome,
can pay
man.
that's impressive.
the salary of a worker or of a couple workers worldwide to help rescue, then it does make a
Yep.
difference
Yeah.
to help get these folks rescued. So
Absolutely, man. That's awesome. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
I think
gosh.
Schwenker knows something about riding
Yeah.
100 days back to back.
yeah, yep, a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done that a couple
I
times.
don't know, man. I don't know if my body's meant for that.
Yeah. Cross country. Maybe not yet.
Yeah,
Soon. Coming to a town near you, Drew Mayer.
With baby 2 on the way in tow. I'm gonna put the new baby in the tow along. Here I go.
You think she'll cheer you on? She, he, I don't know. Do we know yet?
What did she? Yeah, man. It's a she. Girl.
Congratulations, Drew.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we. What did Chris say? Schwanka? He was like rear tire in the Pacific, front tire in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do the baby stroller wheels in the Pacific. And...
There you go.
We do a bi-coastal baptism.
That's it. Oh, that is a great idea.
Wow. Month apart.
Now it's got to happen.
It's a river.
I'll meet you in the middle.
3 months apart. How about that?
Yeah. Awesome. We'll cross the Mississippi together.
I was going to say, what do we do, like a tri-baptism? Once you do one side, once in the middle, once on the other side.
It is the largest river in the United States, so not to brag, but well, this comes to the time of the show where we like to throw it over to Greg for
Sure.
a little bit of informational time.
Yeah, we return to the ongoing series as we do every week on bicycle maintenance. Today is rubber repair, and I can't not share this because it blew my mind. I cast out into the group. I've been, I don't know, like many tubeless tire or tubeless wheel owners, perhaps. I've got like, I don't know, 4 sets of tires, especially for off-road stuff that I change too frequently. And so I change them before I have worn out the tread entirely. I've got all the goo on the inside, like the tubeless, the latex buildup. And I've got one set where it's like quite disgusting. And I would like to get rid of that built-up latex. And it's very difficult. So you either like sit there and slowly get arthritis.
Yeah.
Or you get like tweezers, sometimes needle nose pliers, and it's a giant pain. And so I asked, hey, there's got to be a better way. Does anybody have ideas? And most of the responses were, no, we have no better ideas. And then Peter Cannon, thank you, Peter, shared this video. Apparently, this is important, you can get like one of those giant hard rubber erasers, like you would get at like a craft store. It's like the size of a bar of soap. And if you take it and just rub along the inside of your tire, it'll just grab the latex and rip it right out. Whole tire in like 5-10 minutes. So this is an actually informative and not entirely tongue-in-cheek episode of the ongoing series on bicycle maintenance. Today's entry being, again, rubber repair. Yeah, I thought about leading with rubber repair to see if people would get the wrong idea. Other things made of rubber that they could think of that were not bike tires.
That you don't want to repair. You don't want that risk.
Correct.
Both for procreation and for other things.
Yeah, and I will admit, Dot, I tried to see if I could work in latex into the alliteration somehow, but it wasn't working.
Too challenging.
Wasn't coming in. Yeah. I remember when you posted it in the chat, I had to restrain myself from responding. I would just bring it to the bike shop.
What about a pressure washer?
Can I just blast it away?
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that.
I use a pressure washer for everything. Pulls down my children.
I figured I tried alcohol. I put them in the garage so they get real cold. So I tried
alcohol, and you just got too drunk, so you couldn't pick at it anymore, or what?
I was just all drunk. I couldn't even stand up. It was a mess. Don't use alcohol, guys.
You could pull an Alan Fisher. He was on Mornings with Miller one time, just riding, just picking at the same time.
Nice.
Now, that's one good thing about the chat I've always noticed is if you do have a technical question, you can find usually at least one piece of information that's useful in the pile of responses.
There's one good thing about Discord.
That's one good thing.
That's the only thing I can see.
The only good thing in there. Now, I've asked questions before about my tubeless tires because, as many people will remember, I took a trip upstate and brought my bike but forgot the wheels. It was a special moment.
I have to buy wheels.
My 4-year-old daughter still doesn't let me forget that. Now, every time that I bring the bike upstate,
get your wheels, Daddy.
Have your wheels? I'm like, you're on the bike, Olivia. I swear I remembered them. But I went into tubeless tires, and my evolution into them hasn't been great, but it's gotten better over time. I don't know. Now I picked up one of them the other day, and some water leaked out of it. I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Did you ride in the rain?
No, I drove home in the rain though. Last time coming back
that's what
from
it is.
upstate, so that's what I figured.
I had the same thing when I did that local ride that I rode for like 4 hours in the rain. By the end of it, I was just like spraying water out of my rim.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is good. Yeah.
That's helpful. Oh man.
Yeah.
We got Billy's joining Dirt and Ernie with us now. We have quite a stacked lineup this season. Billy's ridden with Dirt and Ernie the last 3 seasons, right, Bill? And now we're adding Fremont, and goodness gracious.
Now Fremont was alone.
He was alone.
I'm taking him back.
I was
He's
a
loner.
That messes up our desperate numbers up in B.
Yeah, but didn't you guys just added a B the other day? I thought. Who was it?
Not us. Not our lowly B2 last place finishers.
Y'all weren't last.
We were in the dirt teams.
By the way, I checked.
I think you beat Always Dirty. Sorry.
No, we didn't.
Nice.
Remy led them to victory. Yeah, Greg.
Sorry.
Cringe a little, Greg. Cringe. It's okay. You know what? We put out a good effort. We finished at a good place.
Fun.
Hey,
we had a good time.
That's important.
I won't degrade the other guy's experience for my poor attitude.
You had fun. You won.
Yeah, we didn't win. We had fun.
But you had, so
No,
you won.
winning, having fun is winning. Is what he's saying.
That's not.
fun.
That's what losers
And
say.
you won.
Sorry, I channeled my inner Bonica.
Yeah.
I actually looked before that.
Nice.
We targeted 43. We hit 42.8.
Nice.
That was wrong.
You can't argue with that. I mean, that's sticking to a plan. What was your climb target? 3 what?
It was like 3.6, 3.8. Then Laura and Joy hit the climb, and I saw 5s. Like, what are we doing? What is going on?
Did you channel your inner Sully?
I didn't. I just shut up and did 5.
That is why you were at 42.8.
Fremont was there. He was like, "This is not 3.6."
Ooh.
We actually climbed at 3.8. So, yeah, that's why you.
We weren't less than 4.0. So
Yeah.
it sucked. And then of course you get to the top and Laura's there, and Laura's like, "Okay, come on, guys. I'm just gonna push from the back," and she goes flying through like a rocket, and you're like, "I'm gonna try to grab that wheel."
Yeah,
like, oh
every
my God.
week. Yeah, it's
Well, you
Yeah, I was going to say,
week,
Dirt and
right?
Ernie had one opening for a non-sprinter, and I think I took it. That's all that they allow on the team, but yeah, it's fun riding because, Laura, I don't know where they get all the energy. But yeah, we were trying to calculate it, and I think it was like, I think some of these lighter riders is like, that's like 1/2 of my body or, 2 of my legs only. So it's like trying to put it in perspective.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, if your legs were the only thing that had to be carried and we're doing all of the work, that's the equivalent to like Laura or Joy or Hannah. Yeah.
We were doing one point yesterday. So we had Susan as well, right? We had Susan, Joy, and Laura, and then it was me, Fremont, and Jimbo. So like the weight discrepancy was enormous.
It's like 95 kilos, 35 kilos.
Right. And at one point, Fremont was sitting there, and somebody had sauce up, and they were like, "Oh," I think it was Joy. She's like, "Oh, I'm averaging as long as I keep my average under 200."
Oh my
Fremont's
gosh!
like, "I'm doing 380."
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I rode once with an espresso team on a flat course because we could use your watts, and it was like I've never been in a rodeo, but if I had, I think it would have been like 2 minutes, the wildest rodeo. I was like, "All right, good guys." Peace out. See y'all later, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
this is fun, guys.
Thanks, bye.
Hope this was functional for you.
I'm like, I can't do this for 45, 50 minutes. I'm going to die. Yes. Yeah.
You're like, you may be able to use my watts, but I need to use my body, so no.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, Billy, thanks for joining us, man. This is really good talking to you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to hit you up in your DMs about some music stuff, because I'm
Pleasure
sure
to
we
be
have a
here.
lot to talk about. And until next time,
Adios.
see everybody then.
Yeah.
Later. Natty Light, 24-pack.
Yeah.
And a shock collar. Me, 2 dudes. It was a rough night.